Hi everybody, and we're carrying on with our time of prayer, and we're really grateful you can join us this morning because we think this is a really significant time. And this morning we are reflecting on a verse from Deuteronomy. It's Deuteronomy 31 verse 8, and Chris is going to read it for us.
The Lord himself goes before you, and he will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged.
This is one of those verses that I absolutely love. For those of you who don't know, I'm a nurse. I work up at the JR, and on my way to work, this is often a prayer that I have. Actually, God, that you will walk before me, Lord, that you will be with me, because it's uncertain times at the moment. I don't always know what I'm going to face when I get to work, but I know that actually God has prepared the ground and that he is with me in what I face. And that's our prayer over our church at the moment. It is uncertain times. We're in a transitional process, but we believe God has walked before us in it. Actually, he has prepared the ground and he has brought the right people, and he's putting the right people in the right places. And we're really thankful for the process so far. We believe that God has handpicked John and Kath as we've got to know them over the last few months. They're just a perfect fit. They're such a lovely, loving couple, and just they're so servant-hearted, and their family just fits in with our church in Chippy. So we've no doubt that God has handpicked them, and so because of that, we can pray in faith that they should be in Chippy. That's not what we're questioning, but we just want to see that actual process happen. We want to see them here and settled and in the perfect house that God's got for them in the perfect area. So we can pray in faith because we know that God's picked them. And we can pray the same for Paul and Lottie. They're a couple that have served us so well over the last, I don't even know how many years it's been. I know it's been a long time, and they have just developed our church and let our church just grow and be all it can be. But they've heard God's call to go and do that somewhere else now, and it's a loss for us, but actually it's part of advancing the kingdom. So we just pray with faith that we will see them moved and settled in Cheltenham, as God has called them to be. We're really thankful that both couples have had viewings on their houses, and they have been able to view houses in Cheltenham and Chippy, and we just pray that will continue. Even though we're in a pandemic, we just pray that actually they will be able to find the right places where they should move to, and that their houses will sell. And that when the process starts, I believe it will be a bit of a snowball effect, that when one house goes, the other house will go, and it just will be, in your perfect timing, Lord. That's what our prayer is.
We are thankful as well that we can have this time of transition, that Paul and Lottie and John and Kath can meet up, that we're not left in a situation where there's an abrupt change of leadership, but that they can work out all the details of what it means to lead the church. And but we want to pray because we're in harder times. Meeting together is more difficult, and we want to pray that God's grace and his wisdom would be revealed to them in that process. We want to be praying that this is a smooth transition, one that injects faith into John and Kath to take up the responsibility of leading God's people here in Chipping Norton, and one that frees Paul and Lottie, allows them to be properly released to the adventures that they have ahead of them in Cheltenham. But in all of this, we're reassured by the verse that we read before, that they are both walking in footsteps that God has prepared for them. Nanson's going to read the verse again.
The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged.
God bless.